Hotline Miami is one of my favorite indie games of all time. Hell, it's one of my favorite video games in general. Its mix of addictive puzzle-like murderous action gameplay with psychedelic visuals and a ball-busting soundtrack are second to none. The off-the-wall story, which follows Jackal, a silent protagonist that receives strange phone calls instructing him to take out members of the Mafia, is thought-provoking, savage, and will lead you down the Reddit rabbit hole faster than a bird's-eye chili will traverse through your butthole. It's the kind of game that makes you so glad that you play video games, and naturally, whenever something is successful, others will try to bottle up that same magic. On this episode of Indie Spotlight, the show where we highlight up to 3 indie game releases that are worth your attention, but we never could quite get around to doing full reviews on, I've dug up 3 awesome indies that look to replicate the gameplay and vibes of the Hotline Miami franchise. Some of these games are still forthcoming, and others, they are available for you to purchase right now. But real quick, we're pretty psychotic to do what we're doing here, aren't we? That's bringing you independent content day in and day out. If you value what we do, head over to patreon.com/IDreamOfIndieGames. You'll gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community, enjoy early ad-free shows, receive a shout-out at the end of every video we produce, our podcast 3 days early, and so much more. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Okay, the first game that I would like to highlight is Jackal, scheduled to release January 2026, and it's coming to us from Transhuman Design. A recently released demo on Steam gives us a taste of the action and will have you grinding your way through Vegas hotels, toppling anyone that stands in your way. A familiar top-down view will greet players as you kill your foes in brutal fashion, but the twist here is that you have access to super abilities. That's right. What otherwise plays as a fairly standard Hotline Miami style experience throws a wrench into the familiar formula with the ability to summon creatures. In the demo, I was able to spawn something that looked like Satan and have it help me defeat foes, even though, much like real life, I thought Satan kinda sucked. Still, Jackal feels pretty solid to play, with a great art style that beautifully bleeds into its 70s setting, and an assortment of different weapons, like my favorite, the fire poker, to bludgeon your foes with. The game is violent as all hell, just as you would expect, but it remains to be seen whether summons and spells will be enough to shake things up. As it stands, I'm feeling pretty optimistic and very much look forward to playing more of it next year. Moving on from that release is a game that you can play for yourself right this very instant. That is, if you have a spare $14.99 USD laying around. I take that back actually, as there is a demo for the Zebra Man, a Hotline Miami-like experience that definitely taps more into the psychedelic side of the franchise than the other games on this list, while also calling back to the classic pixelated look of the Hotline Miami games. But make no mistake, the Zebra Man is very much its own thing with a grindhouse vibe. Yes, there is top-down carnage via your fists and a chainsaw that I grabbed as you puzzle your way through rooms, but there's also a completely twisted, wacky story and a very crude sense of humor here. Your zebra-headed lead character can enter a rage state where he goes balls to the wall on everything in sight, but there are also odd story segments in between the carnage that will have you shifting perspective. For example, I was a priest at one point and even a school student in the brief time I played. Now, a warning here, some of the content in this game is pretty damn cringe and deals with themes of racism. There's even, well, I'm not even gonna say what else can be seen in this video game. So, maybe just read a little bit about it before trying to stream this one live, just saying. Not that I think you would probably be playing it anytime soon, as the game has a shockingly low 10 reviews on Steam, but maybe that will change now with this video. Regardless, the Zebra Man is a interesting art house spin on Hotline Miami. Certainly worth a look if you can stomach it. I don't know if I can. The last game I played for this edition of Indie Spotlight is fresh out of early access. It's called Noir, which is a more straightforward affair, especially compared to that last game. Has a noir setting and gameplay clearly inspired by Hotline Miami. Oh, and I'd say this was by far the toughest of the 3 games featured in this video. The game does have some special abilities for players to use, like slowing down time, but is very much about approaching rooms the right way, baiting out enemies, and hoping you don't catch a stray bullet, which will instantly send you back to the beginning of the area again. I'll be honest, one of the early missions, which has you trying to save a hostage, nearly drove me to rage quit this one, but I'm glad I pressed on a bit further, as there is a feeling of satisfaction in finally clearing out rooms. I probably wanted to rage quit Hotline Miami at multiple times throughout too, so it makes sense. It just kind of comes with the territory with these games. There's a good assortment of weapons in this one, melee attacks, and more. Noir seems like a pretty good time thus far, being compared visually to Sin City by a lot of folks that have played it. There's even an arcade mode and a speedrun mode to unlock. Looks like another one where barely anyone has touched it though, so get out there and give it a go. It's definitely worth your time. So there you have it. 3 games like Hotline Miami that are all worth checking out for various reasons. Well, at least 2 of them. I actually feel like most of you are going to check out the second one above all of the other ones. But either way, thank you so much for supporting independent content. If you appreciate what we do, you know what to do. Voice to the voiceless. We'll see you on the channel.